What's going on with everybody out there, man? I hope everybody having a wonderful Wednesday so far, man. Y'all know I'm checking in. Just want to do a quick little video for the midweek, man. To let y'all know that I'm still around. Y'all can catch me live Saturdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. I go live on 4 platforms: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Be there, support. I appreciate it. Thank y'all. I wanted to get to talking about recently Dr. Umar Johnson went on It's Up There podcast, Big Loon's podcast called It's Up There. So y'all check that interview out. It re-sparked a conversation in my head about Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, leaving Jackson State University. Coach Prime leaving Jackson State University and taking a job in Boulder, Colorado to coach at the University of Colorado. Well, that was like one of my first videos that I actually did. You know what I'm saying? I was super excited. I got like 300 views on it. And it did decent, for me to have what at the time, I think I only had like 25 subscribers on YouTube, and shoot, actually that probably was like one of my best videos, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, I've done some digging on there, and I did my research on the case, and reading between the lines and seeing that the Sanders are human. They were heartbroken when they had to leave Jackson State University. When they left Jackson State University, they were heartbroken. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, and when I say Deion Sanders, let me say with the utmost respect, I'm speaking to him in the human form. You know what I'm saying? Not the prime time who we all love, you know what I mean? Like, because they are human, you know what I mean? They're people, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He was torn to pieces, man. When the news came out, that things wasn't working out in the financial department, he was heartbroken. He was like, look, I got to make moves. Colorado was giving him a deal, and they were letting him freelance with his media, with his son's media company and so forth and so on. They were letting that go, right? And that's pretty much why he left. But I'm gonna get into that a little bit here too, you know what I'm saying? Well, the digging I had done, first off, I want to talk about the deal that the SWAC had with ESPN. ESPN was paying the SWAC, Southwestern American Conference or something like that, but it's called the SWAC with its HBCUs. You know what I'm saying? That's the division down there in the South. Okay, they were paying them. ESPN were giving them the equivalence of $1,000 to film all their games on all their sports. No, I'm sorry, $1,000 per sport. Per sport. At one school. Now, when you go down, that's nothing. $10,000 deal, that's nothing. Because when you look at it, like when you look at schools like FAMU who have multiple sports, you know what I'm saying? That has a lot of sports, men and women's departments. That's really nothing. That's like $1,000. If they have more sports and you have somebody who's shining in these sports departments, like you're getting less. It'd probably be less than $1,000 to be on ESPN, to get all the exposure, that you want, right? So the TV deal was one of the bad deals that Coach Prime didn't like, you know what I mean? He was shooting for the stars and aiming for the moon, shooting for the stars on that deal. He was tired of HBCUs getting lowballed. Also, when HBCUs went to go play exhibition basketball games, football games, other sports, and they're playing Power 5 schools, when the FCS, let's say FCS, okay? FCS is the category that HBCUs fall in. FBS is Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, so forth and so on, okay? Like that. So when the FCS schools went to go play the FBS schools, Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, he wasn't feeling that they were only getting like, $250,000, $500,000, $300,000 to go and get their butt kicked by, a team who has the facilities to train their athletes at the top, so they got the upper echelon of athletes because they have all the tools to work their bodies the way they need, to train their athletes at the highest level. And this is something that a lot of FCS schools don't have. A lot of HBCUs, a lot of their gyms are not. There's high school gyms in Texas that HBCUs cannot compete with. And Coach Prime was trying to change that culture. He was doing his best. He put a new practice field up there. He put a new locker room up there. And there was some funny business going on with him and his ticket money. He's getting revenue up at Colorado now. Now, we always said, oh, they don't want him up in Colorado, the things they do, and they're going to have haters. But he also had haters in the black community, too. Let's not get that twisted. And the thing with Dr. Umar was missing is that this mission is bigger than Deion Sanders. It's going to take a slew of athletes that have big names, Shaquille O'Neal, Deion Sanders, D-Wade, I don't know, more and more, a lot of them to come together and all get an HBCU. But the problem is with that is HBCUs don't want that. They don't want that help. They don't want it. They don't want it. They want you to say, okay, we can go in a partnership and with $1 million, you come to the partnership table with $1 million. They only have 5 million. You got 100 million, and they want to control what the 100 million does. That's the problem that we're having going there. There has been several donors that wanted to put a lot of money into HBCUs, and this is the problem that keeps coming up. They want to take it and pay their wages. They want to go get Bentleys, and they want to go buy new houses, wherever else they're doing with the money. But it ain't going to the teachers, and it ain't going into the facilities. Now, this is the problem, and it's always been the problem. They cry broke, but they don't do what they're supposed to do with the funds when they get the funds. It's just the bottom line to it. When Donald Trump was president, he gave a big amount of money to HBCUs, and they split that up. They didn't put it back in the facilities. Joe Biden, seeing that Trump did that, so he tried to updo him again. He gave him more money, and they're still not upgrading the facilities. They're still not trying to move up and do what they need to do to survive. And what's going to wind up happening is that they're going to get left behind is what's going to happen. And I'm going to get into that. But these are some of the things that Coach Prime, and he didn't say it, but you can say it reading between the lines. He said things like he'll be a fool not to entertain a better opportunity at a different school. He said he'd be a fool not to entertain it. He didn't say he wanted to leave, but they wanted him to pay his own coaching staff out of his pocket. He's like, okay, I'll do that. You want me to pay my staff out of my pocket? Let me put an accountant, a lawyer, and somebody into the athletic department to make sure that I'm getting my money to pay my staff. Because they wasn't giving him the ticket money. He came out of Jackson probably in the red, to be honest. And this is just things that he's not saying. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at it, he left Jackson spending more money than he did making. So it wasn't about the money at all. But what it was about was they didn't want Coach Prime to have any power. Now, we say we for the culture. They get to yelling at, oh, black excellence and this and that. But y'all didn't want a black man to be excellent. So let's just be real here, right? This is a fact, y'all. This is a fact. You know what I'm saying? Every time somebody tries to step up and they help, they want to take over their money. Ain't nobody just gonna let you do that. So You know, he tried and he tried and he waited to see if things was going to happen. No, it wasn't happening. They wasn't trying to let it happen. It wasn't. They didn't even tell him what happened to the money that the football team generated with ticket sales and the sold out stadiums they had every home game at Jackson. They didn't say anything.